about this movie is the cast. You can't go wrong with Jamie Foxx and Joseph-Levitt. Good morning folks, and welcome back to the channel. It's Luna Rhodes back once again with another video. First of all guys, long time no see man. It's been a minute since I've been on YouTube, so I hope you're all well and I hope you're all safe out there. And if you're new to my channel, please subscribe, hit that thumbs up as well as that notification bell. It'd be much appreciated folks, as always. As for me, since my last video, child, if I was to do a story time, it would literally be a mini series in itself. But anyway, we're here to talk about the mini trinkets that's been bestowed on us by Netflix, one of which is Project Power. I managed to have the opportunity to watch it last night, so guys, this is going to be a spoiler review. So without further ado, let's talk about this film. Now, I didn't do a trailer reaction for this film. I wanted to come in somewhat fresh, but this movie was directed by Ariel Schulman and Henry Joost. So, Project Power. Now, this movie is about these pills which are being distributed in New Orleans, and once consumed, you are bestowed with unpredictable powers for a period of 5 minutes. Now, I love that concept. What will you do with superpowers for a period of 5 minutes? Now, this movie follows a similar concept to Limitless, as well as The Matrix, the blue pill, the red pill, but in this movie, once you take the pill, you're either given powers or it could be fatal. Along this story, you have this teenage dealer portrayed by Dominique Fishback, an up-and-coming brilliant actress who works alongside a local cop portrayed by Gordon-Levitt. Now, Levitt's character as a police officer is somewhat nefarious himself. He really does push the boundaries because he is working alongside Dominique's character, aka Robin, because she's actually dealing these drugs in New Orleans, and he's able to get a stash from her. And once he consumes these drugs, he becomes impervious to bullets. So I found this story a bit of a paradox, because whilst he's getting these personal supplies from Robin, he is so invested in taking down this company who are distributing these drugs in New Orleans in the first place. As the story progresses, Dominique and Levitt's characters team up with Jamie Foxx, who is an ex-soldier, to ultimately take down this company who are creating and distributing these drugs. And there's also an added, quite pivotal story arc, which is Jamie's daughter, Tracy. So that in a nutshell is the synopsis of this film. Now for me, this movie falls within the new quirky superhero genre with the likes of Old Guard, Umbrella Company and The Boys, and overall I found this movie to be satisfying. I don't think the creator's objective was to produce this thought-provoking, mind-blowing, captivating superhero movie. I think the objective was just a fast-paced, action-packed movie which more or less ticks all those boxes, but there was areas in this film which I felt could have been more developed. Now, the best thing about this movie is the cast. You can't go wrong with Jamie Foxx and Joseph-Levitt. I mean, their charisma literally jumps off the screen. I mean, they're fan favourites, and you want their characters to win despite the corny moments in this film. But for me, overall, the standout performer and the person that held this movie together is Dominique Fishback. She makes for an empathetic heroine trapped by circumstances, but who sacrifices everything for the greater good and to save the relationship between a father and a daughter. So she, for me, was the standout performer in this film. Another thing I really appreciated about this movie was the visual effects and cinematography, and given the fact that it's a Netflix production, I thought they did a really good job. I mean, the fight scenes could have been better choreographed, but all in all, it was decent. Now, there's certain elements I would have tweaked with this movie. Number one, the plotline, specifically dealing with Art, Jamie Foxx and his daughter Tracy, and how she manages to possess all that power and be the source of power. Now, we're given somewhat of an explanation as to how she acquires her powers, but the movie is so fast-paced and it's difficult to grapple at times. I would have preferred if they just dramatised her origin story in a linear way up until the events of New Orleans, as opposed to this disjointed backstory of these nefarious characters and this laboratory experiment. For me, that would have been a simpler way to do it, and dare I say, more entertaining. I don't know, could have been better developed was the villains in this film. For me, they were completely forgettable. Everyone loves a badass antagonist, and unfortunately in this movie they weren't intriguing enough, they weren't subversive enough. This is where they really should have focused a bit more on character development. This film really had all the right ingredients to be a fantastic superhero flick, but it didn't quite live up to its potential, because as a viewer at the end you're left with a lot of question marks. I mean, is there going to be a part 2? how they're going to follow up with Tracy. There's a lot of question marks, and as a viewer that's a bit frustrating, but overall it's still a really good watch, really entertaining movie, and fantastic for Netflix streaming service. But guys, please comment below. I'd love to hear your thoughts about this film. Did you fully enjoy it? Do you agree with me that they could have just dramatized certain plot lines as opposed to giving disjointed backstory? Or do you like the film as it is? Love to hear your thoughts. I'll see you down in the comment section below, and take care for now. Bye.